It's after midnight and everybody's gone to bed. It's time for some midnight ops. Alright, it's been a little bit, but it's time to get into the next project, which is going to be my 16 by 9, or what I don't know what I'm going to call it, but my modern cabinet, essentially. So, I don't do a lot of woodworking, but I do work in metal sometimes. So, what I'm going to do is build a cabinet out of steel. There's my stuff here. So I'm a welder. I haven't welded in a few years, but we're going to try it out. Just my parts so far. Odds and ends. Safety gear. Safety first. Starting with this. Showing the raw materials before we get started. Of course, these are just some odds and ends that are laying around and some pieces I bought. Of course, these are one of my favorite stores, Industrial Metal Supply. I like that shop because I don't ever feel, because I don't even really consider myself a hobbyist. A hobbyist does it every once in a while. I said I haven't welded anything in a few years. So I don't even consider myself a hobbyist. I'm just a person who owns a welder. But I like going to Industrial Metal Supply because it's like a store when you walk in. There's no like trying to figure stuff out. Everything's there. They're actually pretty helpful. I ended up getting these pieces cut to size because I got rid of my truck during the pandemic, so I don't have anything big enough to really haul long pieces of long anything in anymore. So they cut these down to 8-foot lengths for me. They come in 20-foot lengths. You get them 10 in the store, but they come in 20 foot. So I have, so you can see here I have 3 8-foot lengths, or sorry, 6 8-foot lengths because it's double stacked. Then I have because they come from 3 and then 3 4-foot lengths. I have some spare metal in the corner by the fridge. My messy shop here, and then of course over some more spare metal over there next to my old CRT that burned out. Yeah, it's not a great garage, but these are the raw materials. Of course, the biggest thing I'm having difficulty with is going to be the 90-degree angles on these things, because if you're off by even a little bit, it's going to, off by even a slight degree, at the bottom is going to, have the TV or the monitor going. So I'm worried about making these right angles. But this is the next project. I'll be starting up this here within the next few days, just getting everything laid out, getting my ideas together for how I'm going to do this. So my inspiration for these cabinets is going to be based off things like The Last Bounty Hunter, Fast Draw, Time Crisis, where it has the gun in the back and the monitor out front has that distance on it. Even ones like, for instance, Terminator, House of the Dead, especially with Terminator, because it has those rifles on the side, and then because I plan to put 4 guns on there, the 2 rifles on the side, and then 2 guns in the middle. I'm going to use the let's see. I'm going to use these, so I have 2 of these rifles and then 2 of these pistols. They're laser tag weapons. I've done a video on them before. For the pistol, at least I haven't messed with the rifles yet. I'm going to show breaking those down and doing the Gun4IR on those as well. Replacing the, I don't like running them off batteries. They run off battery packs. I'll take those out or run them off of, power coming in. And then I don't really do a lot of planning. I kind of do a lot of conceptualization in my mind. but this is pretty much the extent of what I have for plans here. So in general, it's going to be, it's going to have the pedestal out here in front, roughly 36 inches. Because I haven't quite decided whether I'm using a 50-inch or a 40-inch TV. But the Gun4IRs with the fisheye lens, you're usually about 1.5 times the distance. So on a 50-inch TV, I believe the distance on the screen is 44 inches. So it'd be roughly 5 foot, 5'6" for the distance between these. If you're standing here with the gun about there. So the other thing I'm having difficulty with is determining the height of the screen. So I'm 6 foot tall. So I believe the center of the screen should roughly be about where I'd be holding the pistol, which is like center chest. So roughly, 5 foot tall for the center. And then I plan on putting a marquee on top as well. And then this is just some supports for this. And as I mentioned, the first part, this is roughly going to be, 7-8 foot tall. So if this is just a little off, at the bottom, it'll be leaning forward or leaning back. So I got to make sure that these right angles are correct. And then because I'm going to be making this in my garage and bringing it in my game room, I have to make it collapsible. So this was my idea for, not collapsible, but be able to take it apart. So my idea for basically creating two parts so that I bolt them in the middle and then separate these two sections here. It's going to be roughly 10 inches here, and that is based off of measuring the coin door that I have on my Johnny Nero cabinet. So to be able to place a coin door between those, some rough calculations of the angles, and never let the math teachers tell the kids that you'll never use trigonometry again, because I'm using it. And once again, just some rough calculations for different things. But basically, this is the extent of my my quote-unquote design plans. So we'll see how it works. Wish me luck. I'll post up, try to do weekly, couple week videos here of my progress, depending upon how angry I get, trying to get these right angles. And then, of course, everything's going to be mirrored. So everything that I do on this side, I have to do on this side. It has to be exactly the same. And like I said, I don't even consider myself a hobbyist. I don't do this often enough for that. So it's all going to be a lot of trial and error. Oh, and the other thing is that I'm going to put casters on here. So I have to figure out how to do the casters so that they don't stick out too far with people stubbing their toes on them. Also make it sturdy enough so that if a kid bumps into it, the whole thing's not, falling over. So that's going to be a nice thing to do, and I'll be doing that over the next few weeks, and I'll keep you guys posted. And if I get tired of welding, I'll come and do a couple of these Gun4IR guns and get those set up. Pretty sure I have a couple cameras still that I can use. I have to check my parts for that. I haven't made one in a couple months. I'm not sure about the last time I checked, nobody had any cameras, but we'll see what's going on. Wish me luck. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, see you on the next Midnight Ops.